Right, well today we're doing yet more moving vehicles around. I know this is getting a little bit old now, we seem to be moving them constantly. But I've got a chap coming today to look at Diane Abbott. And although he's quite aware that she's not looking very finished, in fact she's looking a little bit like a genital wart at the moment. Nevertheless, he came down and he wanted to see her. And at the end of the day, he was quite pleased with her, and I think he'll end up buying her. So we'll see where that goes. So while Diane was out, I decided it was a good idea to pull the T-34 out as well, and I wanted to put that in the other workshop, the smaller workshop that I'm making slightly bigger, shall we say, at the moment, to fit things like the T-34 in and other vehicles. So while we were messing around, that's what we did. The T-34 has been residing in the back of the workshop for a couple of months now while we were setting up, and it's turned itself into quite an expensive racking system. So it was time to clear that off and drag it out. But quite quickly we realised something had been forgotten and got stuck in between the track and the sponson. Oh no, the outside light! You have to shove it forward! Whoa! Oh no! That was brand new. No matter. It's only £1 million. Right. Now, one other thing that actually did dawn on me when we started to pull the T-34 out is the fact that when the T-34 was put in, I didn't have a roller shutter door, so it fitted in quite easy. And since then, I've now fitted a roller shutter door, and I have no idea at all, and I wasn't going to measure it, let's face it. If it didn't fit, we were just going to ram it out the shed, and the door would go with it. So, will it actually fit out the shed? We're about to find out. Well, that was more luck than judgment, but that's the easy part. The next thing we've got to do is try and manoeuvre it around the yard. And unfortunately, T-34s and all Soviet tanks actually have this useless towing brackets on the front, which make it incredibly hard to tow them round, whereas good old British tanks have NATO A-frames that make towing a dead tank really easy. But of course, our big NATO A-frame won't fit the T-34, so we're going to have to just struggle. Shit been outside for a while. It was never designed to... Well, this door wasn't here when it was put in the shed, so that was a bit of lucky measuring, I'd say. Next job was to jump in the turret and wind the gun round to the back so I can get the Foden and the crane over the front lifting eyes to try and oik it round. This gun doesn't traverse too badly, but it's a lot of manual work, and my arm's too long and kept smacking it on the side of the hull, which wasn't fun.
You're nearly there. That's fine, all stop. It's fine.
I do?
Yeah, you just crushed my foot, but never mind. I just like trying to do the fucking job at sea.
Here's a particularly mint table you found there.
It is good, isn't it?
Do you know what you're doing?
Best
garden table. Right?
It's actually my ex-girlfriend's table.
Oh, is it? She was a wonderful person.
Anyway, enough about Jack. Let's get this T-34 moved. And we've got the old Foden out yet again. I've decided now that actually I've gone off tanks. They're a little bit boring. I've decided that I like Fodens now. I think we should just have a lot more Fodens. They just work, seem to do everything you want to do. They're not really any hassle, unlike tanks and dead tanks. This T-34/85 weighs the best part of 30 tonne, if not slightly more. And trying to get it to turn is incredibly hard. So the Foden weighs in at probably 26, 27 tonnes, something like that. And it does make fairly light work of moving the T-34. However, it does need a bit of assistance from the old JCB to do these tighter turns. Unfortunately, with the T-34, there's lots of big, thick plates and brackets to push off with the old JCB to make it a little easier to get these arcs of these corners. So I've got to get it around this yard, around this brick building in between the old squash court. And as you can see, it's taking quite a lot of jiggery pokery. I'm about to throw a handbrake down. Look at that, yeah, handbrake applied to get it round. But with a bit of perseverance and a bit of teamwork, Jack does a little bit of ploughing here. Not even sure how he's doing that. It's quite impressive. We just about manage it. And typically, when I'm moving stuff like this, we have dozens of people all turn up. They've all got brilliant and wonderful ideas and want to tell me how to do it. So I do the easiest thing, and that's ignore them all. I've sped up the crane because it is a little bit slow for my liking when you're watching it back. I don't want the video to be too boring. But what we do here is lift the T-34 up with the Foden and then use the telehandler pushing off the side of the track to just gently arc it round. In a straight line, the rolling resistance on tanks is quite low, and you'll find most things will push or pull them, and they can roll away on hills. So when we can, we always use the telehandler if it's a straight line, because it's the easiest thing. Shortly after this, Jack trapped his finger in some chains. Well, that's the chains well and truly learnt. I don't think they'll be rushing out and doing that again. Watching this back, it's almost like we're taking a dog for a walk. Well, actually, it's nothing like taking a dog for a walk, but you know what I mean. It may not look like it, but there is someone driving the lorry. I haven't just got out and left it rolling. Quite nice to see it out the shed. You can see that the road wheels and the running gear in general actually is in terrific condition on this T-34. It should come up really nice. The other thing that's quite nice about it is all the road wheels do match. They're all the same style rim. With T-34 there's so many different rims that people swap and change and mess about with, but this one's all the same all round. So it's quite a nice genuine vehicle really. This will make a nice one when we've finally done it up.
Get your fingers in there, Seb. What? Get your fingers in there.
Right in between
Yeah.
everything, yeah. Not in there.
Just cushioning. It's not made big enough to go in there.
Say that ain't gonna fit.
At last we're straight in line with the little workshop. I'm going to pull it far enough forward so I can get in front of it and then push it the last little bit into the workshop. So now we've got the T-34 in the little workshop. I need to have a tidy up in here. There's a bit of mess everywhere, but I've actually got room to work on it now. I can put the start motor that I've had repaired back on, which is in here somewhere. I don't quite know where. I've also got room to get at the engine and have another go with the timing, and a couple of these fuel injector parts are knackered. I'm going to have to change out. And fingers crossed we can get it to run. Failing that, if I can't get it to run, I'm just going to rip the engine out and then go through. I mean, I want to go through it all anyway and take the engine out anyway, no matter what. But at least if we can get it running in the vehicle, as I said before, we shall know then if the gearbox is going to work and the steering and the brakes, which is quite nice. So we'll try and carry on with that idea, and we hope to be doing a little bit on this very, very soon. Obviously now it also means with the T-34 out of here, we actually have room to work on Diane Abbott, and we have some space for bits and pieces and things that we've painted and whatever. We also have room to work on the Avery and other big projects, so we can actually now work on two things at once and actually get round it, both sides, rather than just being able to needle gum what we could get at before with everything rammed in here. So hopefully we can get Diane finished quicker than before as well. So get Diane out of the way, and also our main concern at the moment is carrying on with the Avery, with the new engine, and obviously got the gearbox down there to go in soon, hopefully this week, and the clutch that we're working on at the moment, or shall I say Jack was, the new clutch plates, which are over there on that shelf, all brand new. Thank you Bonded and Reline for sorting them out. That's Albert, really good company for that sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully we shall get on with this tomorrow. What do you think, Ted? What do you think? Not a lot. Also, on another note, for anyone interested that wants to see some of the vehicles that we're going to be working on the next couple of months, we will be taken to this local show, Operation Market Harborough. So please look at that. If you want to come and meet us, see us, and see the vehicles, we will be here, and we shall keep reminding you about this. But it's usually a good show. So anyone that wants to see the vehicles, we will be here. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video.